Well, on the day of remembrance, we gather in Whitehall on Horse Guards Parade at approximately 1:30. And on the command of our marshals, we march to the Cenotaph, which is only about 5 or 10 minutes march. There we hold commemorative services. There the chief rabbi and other distinguished guests talk, and we then march back to the finishing place, where we finish and go off until next year. I've been doing this for many, many years, since my father passed away. In fact, I helped him in his last 2 years at the Ajax March. Unfortunately, when he passed away, I took the responsibility on and carried on marching every year since with my dear wife, and we marched with friends whose parents also were Ajax members. And the reason that we do it, us second generation members, is because, we know that the veterans are now getting much older. Many of them are passing away now, and we have to take their place. If we don't take their place, who will?
Mike, if I can come to you now, Chairman of Ajax, how important is the ceremony of remembrance to the Jewish community?
Good evening, Neil. It's extremely important. I mean, like Warren, my late father, who served in the Royal Sussex during World War II, started taking me to the parade when I was about 4 years old, and I've hardly missed any. I think the backdrop as to why our organisation was founded in the 1930s was sadly against the backdrop of rising anti-Semitism at that time. And there were the usual anti-Semitic tropes that Jews didn't serve and that kind of stuff, which really ranks, particularly with people like me, where my own grandfather was in the trenches, his brother was killed in the trenches, and another great uncle was killed, and others served. So I am the third generation from my family, from an Anglo-Jewish family, to have served in HM forces with pride. And so this parade is important. It was mentioned before that we also march alongside all our other comrades on the Royal British Legion main parade on the previous Sunday, and I had the privilege of doing that again this year. But it's very important for us to fly the flag and to demonstrate the commitment and loyalty of Anglo-Jews to the Crown.
Hence the necessity for the separate event, just to, I suppose, sharpen the focus of the spotlight on the fact that, as you said, a clear contribution made by the Jewish community. So in that context, how many people generally take part in your unique event?
Yeah, of course, as Warren's alluded to, the demographic of our membership has changed because there are sadly not that many World War II veterans left. Many of them are centennials now. And those of our comrades and veterans who perform national service, if they were 18 in 1960 when national service ended, the maths are very easy. They'll be about 80 now. But of course, there are contemporary veterans. There are people like myself. I was a reservist for a number of years, and many of our veterans served in HM forces as regulars and reservists in contemporary conflicts and doing service since the 1960s onwards. We also work closely with those of our comrades who are still serving in HM forces. There are several hundred British Jews that are still serving in all main three branches of the forces, and they march with us. We also have Jewish cadets and other organizations. But I think that the point to be made here is that our parade attracts attention from the wider community. We're very inclusive. We want other people to be with us, to participate with us. And we always have a reviewing officer and a lot of senior officers from the forces and other institutions. We have mayors and dignitaries, as Warren alluded to. So it is a very important part in our calendar. This year we had something like 1,200 marchers and over 1,000 spectators. And it is a very moving event. We have the chief rabbi officiating with our military padre. It's a very moving and very fitting event. But, we welcome other people to come and join us and to be a part of our remembrance, which is not just for the Jewish fallen. we remember all the fallen in our parade.